Hello guys, so today we're going to be going over exam number 1, and with exam number 1 we have a big project, so there's going to be a longer video today, but basically we're processing a milk plant here. This milk plant runs off of this tanker truck that dumps the raw milk into this pump, and it goes through the pump, goes into the container for the deaerator, it takes all the air out, filters it through, pumps it into the tank, and then it exits out as our final product. So today we're going to be looking at all these different indicators. So first off, we can click on any of these motors here, any of them, and this control menu will pop up. This control menu allows you to turn the buttons on, or the motors on, or off. And then as you can see, whenever these motors reach a certain amperage, which you'll see here soon, that there will be a faulted indicator state. But before we do that, we're going to go over to intake 1, and you'll see that all of them are displayed as on. We turned off. Those are all off, and then even if they are off, they can still fault. So we'll just wait for a second to see if they can fault. We'll actually turn them back on. And just a couple more seconds. Well, it looks like these 4 aren't going to fault right now. Let's go to intake 2. Intake 2 has the same premise. You can click on any of the motors and it activates this motor control menu. Turn these on and off. And then back on. And off again. And then eventually one of these will fault out. If it raises higher than 7.8, we can see the tag for that down here. We'll just go into refrigerator 1, go to the motors, motor 1, the amperage. We added our tag and go to our alarm state. An overload triggers every time the set point is above 7.8 amps. So let's go back over to the first tank. Nothing's faulted there yet, but we can't edit the values of these since they're running off an OPC. But we'll just wait, see what happens. But let's get into some more stuff here. So our tanks themselves also have they have their own alarms. So let's go to the tank level. So this tank level tag here shows 2 alarms. A high alarm is anything above 95%, and a low alarm is anything below 1%. Those alarms will trigger on our control board here. As you can see, we'll get rid of some of these. Activate time. Get rid of the priority, event ID, and then current state. You'll see that you have a tank level low and a tank level high, tank level low in refrigerator 2. That's also the same thing for the other tanks as well. You have high temps, so this high temperature is based off of the tank temperature. So let's go to the tank level, and then we'll have temp discharge. So this is the temp discharge temperature, which is also the same as the tank temperature as well. So if we go to this, we go to an alarm, anything above 42 degrees would be considered a high temp. And as we see here, there's a fault. So let's open up this. You'll see that motor 1 is faulted out because it's at 10 amps. Once it lowers down, the fault will release. That motor is also faulting out. You can see the amp overloads for 1 and 4. We have another temperature gauge and a pressure gauge as well. Shows the discharge pressure. There's no alarm for that, but there's an alarm for the tank level high and low. It shows that we showed earlier, 95 and 1. We also have a tank level. We have two alarms for high and low there. We have alarms for the line flow as well. So the line flow is right now at 45, and it has an alarm for high flow if it's above 40, and a low flow if it's below 20. So right now it's faulted out as a high flow. We have our milk temperature too. Um, that's based off of our inlet temperature there, with an alarm for milk temp high if it's above 80 degrees. Right now it's at 95, so on our control board you see the high milk temp there. This is all the same for intake 2. So intake 2 has all the same properties. Everything works here as far as that. It's calculating. And if we go here, you can see everything's reading here as well, off and on. Lastly, I think that's everything we covered, but we want to make sure that we have everything, and I believe we do. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask me. Thank you. My apologies, we forgot to add in the viewer portion of this. So as you can see, there's a viewer portion. This is our main menu. You have your Murray State logo. Then you have, this is your viewer. You can also click on here and it shows all the functions there. As well as for intake 2, there's all your functions. This is the menu screen. All right, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.